What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Welcome to JEDIOSHI. Thanks for tuning in. Let's dig in. Let's look at some charts. It's an exciting day for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin. We're seeing a really healthy bounce. So we're going to check out some things about it. And let's we'll go around the world here. But before we get started, please like the video. Please share, give it a thumbs up. Please share what we're doing here at JEDIOSHI. We are teaching people to learn how to read charts and do analysis and think like traders. So let's start here with equities. What's interesting here is that overnight, and let me see if what comes up on the 1 hour. That's the daily. See, look at this. And this was, that was the start of the bounce last week. And overnight we've had some kind of volatile action here in the Dow Jones. Right now we're kind of low on day here, but we've had, we are off these local highs from late last week, selling off, but we're not seeing that in Bitcoin. And that's what's interesting. I mentioned to you guys in the Telegram, we're seeing relative strength with Bitcoin, but I have a top bottom. But again, this is our Dow Jones chart. We did hit the tag 382. We closed, this is the EMA 8. We closed above that EMA 8. That is kind of one of the key EMA levels to watch. Not surprising that we have a red day today. Obviously, given the geopolitical things that are going on and everything else, things with the dollar, gold, Bitcoin, things are seems like they're kind of coming off the rails here, but or kind of coming unconnected a little bit. Anyways, so again, is this ABC complete? We had daily signals on, like we talked about on Friday, we had daily signals on Dow, S&P, pretty sure NASDAQ, but also Bitcoin for go long conditions. So that would not be invalidated. Just so you understand what that looks like is basically, I'm not sure how to draw it exactly here in real time, but something like that. We have to come back and prove that this trend is not changed. Prove that we're not now in an uptrend. So whether that's a breakdown of this, say, trend line, or a close below this candle body from last week, or a new low here, obviously a new low would do it. But so eyes on equities as we do. We'll keep watching this. This to me could very well be a retest of a breakout trend line. So, and my thoughts on trend lines, I just posted that on the Telegram to you guys. But this is the top bottom, daily S&P and daily Bitcoin on bottom. So I mentioned to you guys the 382 and the catch up needed on Bitcoin for the 382, right? And yeah, you could argue that this, the duration or whatever, is kind of a bigger pattern, but I'm just taking highs and local lows. So S&P came up and tagged the 382 and it got rejected. It's really doing the same thing Dow Jones is. These are just the equities markets, right? And Bitcoin, but although Bitcoin, and we posted this, it had, I think at the time it was here, it had 19, almost 20% left to go to the 382. So to me, and this was late last week, but to me, that's just, you're looking at Bitcoin being more suppressed than the equities. Bitcoin had not run into Friday like equities did. But here we are at the 236 on the fibs. A nice green day. This is 9.36%. So a pretty big day. I'm not sure what that's out there on the standard deviations on the bell curve. It's a big day. Not your average day, but very welcomed, I know, by the community. And we'll look at the fractal. I'll have to redo it, but to look at the fractal, I'm going to show you guys where we are. And what we said in the Telegram was basically Sunday night. If we match the fractal Sunday night, we go up only. And sure enough, we'll get into that a little bit, but sure enough, here we are, right? A welcome surprise, really, for Bitcoin. In face of a little bit of red on equities, which is nice. So we're seeing perhaps a little bit of decouplage. This is the overlay, the daily overlay of Bitcoin in the equity markets. Bitcoin's in blue here. Equities are the others. Bitcoin, you can see it separate right here at the end. We'll zoom in. But Bitcoin led, don't forget, in September. Bitcoin led up, topped first before equities. Equities lagged. Bitcoin led the fall, Equities lag the fall. And now, so if that were to continue, what would naturally happen is that Bitcoin leads a blow off. And whether that's to a retrace or whatever, we'll watch for that. But Bitcoin leading us out is not the first time it's done that. So note one thing I wanted to point out why I had it zoomed in. Note the same thing happened back here in September. Bitcoin jumps up, equities actually dip. And then I don't know what the separation is here. Looks like about 10 days separation. A 10-day lag sort of thing. Or maybe a little bit less off the bottom, but maybe a week or so. So we'll see. Maybe equities chop around for a few days. Bitcoin goes up. We'll see what happens. But this is the current. This is, again, the daily. But you can see the slope here. Bitcoin's up. Equities are down. However, like we just looked at, Bitcoin had more catching up to do. Right? So not that surprising. Nice to see. This is the total 3 Bitcoin overlay. We look at our relative strength for the altcoins. What you can see, and not surprising, is Bitcoin is leading. We talked about this last week. I expect altcoins to outpace when Bitcoin gets to a consolidation point. And so Bitcoin's leading. Alts are doing well off the bottom here, but not as well as Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's the king. Needs to show the way. Both directions. Always has. I'm not going to say always will, but likely. It's the crown ship of the crypto market. So alts are lagging. However, we are seeing some relative strength. Some of these alts are up 10 double digits on percents. They also have dropped a lot. So CRV, I think, ICP was up 11%. Glimmer, 260 at 10. That's nice. Heroes at 13%. Luna is up 17%. Let's take a look at the Luna chart, because that one was showing relative strength even yesterday. So let me pull it up here. I know I'm kind of all over the place here, guys. Bear with me. We'll get to something I want to show you. It's very interesting. So yeah, Luna off the lows here of 40, call it $50 is up to 85 in a matter of just a few days. So, but it was a leader before, so not surprising. Well, let's look at the daily on Luna. So this is what we can see, I think. In my opinion, this is what I think you'll see a lot of alts do. And granted, Luna led the charge 6 days ago. So it started last week. Luna started marching up. And, but yeah, here we are. At $50 for Luna. The way I would see it here is an obvious line, and maybe this is a moving average level, but won't have to dig in too much. But yeah, kissed this line again and it just jumped. So I'm not going to say all the alts will look like this in short order, but I just won't be surprised if that happens. But they'll have to catch up to Bitcoin. All right, so Bitcoin will lead. Okay, 2 things I wanted to show you today, and then we wanted to show you levels to look for going forward, and we'll have to recreate the fractal. Okay, last night, this was what was interesting, and I posted this in the Telegram. But if we broke below, I think it was 37.5 was the level I was looking for, then I was looking for more downside. Well, that didn't happen, right? Obviously didn't happen. We did get a false breakdown signal last night at about midnight. It was I was watching it real time. This was a crazy wick. Down, then up, and it was really volatile. And then up, and then up, and it looked like it was going to break down again. If you look at like your RSI, right? Let me zoom in on the RSI, guys, so you know what I was looking at. This is the 1 hour, and it's what my automated system is being built on. But we had a long signal on RSI on the 1 hour right here at 6 p.m. at weekly close, daily weekly close right here. From there it was up. However, while you didn't reset your RSI on either side, so you didn't go above 65 and didn't go below 35, you did get a break. So this is what was a head fake right before the move up. It looked as if it were falling out of pattern. You see that? See how that candle body closed below that? I didn't capture all the wicks, but let's just do that. Now it didn't close below the, look at that, the wick did not come below the wick. So it held it. RSI broke it. So as RSI proceeds, you know, that's the signal. But anyways, if you just do candle bodies, it did appear to break this morning and right before the launch. So turned around, went north, and broke through all this overhead levels at 39.7. Broke right through, no problem. Right through these levels that were previous resistance. Let me draw a horizontal line here at about that level. We'll see how right here it's support, support, break, and then resistance, 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 can't get through, and then it just flies right through after this pullback. So what we were looking for was, if this breaks, you know, if this pattern breaks down, and that's what I shared with you last night, guys, I'm looking at these levels below us on the fib, really is what it was. And we didn't get that. We jumped. So where do we go from here? Is it up only? Guys, I think that the conditions are, I'm going to pull the 4-hour. Bear with me while I pull the fractal, because I have to go and pull it. I think the conditions are pretty ripe if we continue to follow the fractal pattern. Hold on, let me switch over to, oh, there it is, I have it. Okay, cool, don't have to redo it. We are right on time, and we shared this, you know, if we follow the fractal, it was Sunday night was when we jumped. Now it waited till Monday morning, but here we are, right? So let's look at this. In my mind, is it time for up only for 30 days? Do we get our 30 days of fun? In my mind, I lean yes more than no, because we have followed the fractal for 5.5 months. And once again, just like clockwork, right? Right on schedule. And you can draw this a little bit however you want to do it. But right on schedule we jump. As if this is the plan for how it's going to play out, where it's going. So it's just really cool to see it exactly on schedule. You know, as you've seen it match time and structure here. And we did get some deviation, right? We didn't get a double bottom here. We exceeded the fractal range here. We dropped lower than the fractal bottom here. But, you know, if you were to ask me where I think the market is going right now, I think we follow the fractal more than I think we do something else, because we have continued to follow the fractal. So until this fractal pattern is violated, either way, that's why, or sorry, I'll finish my thought. Until the fractal pattern is violated in either direction, I believe we follow it more than I believe we do something else, right? That's why down here, you know, I said, guys, if you asked me if we were breaking down from the fractal here, I'd say yes. But after this V bottom snapback back into the fractal range, I think it was back on track. And that's what I talked about on Friday, right? So to see it get back on track yet again, or to stay consistent with the fractal yet again right here, is very promising, in my opinion, that we do go up only. Yes, some things need to happen. Yes, equities need to hang in there, I believe. That all needs to happen. But for 5.5 months, we've been following this, and yet again, we print the fractal with price on time. So it's very exciting. I think that if this plays out, what I'm expecting is, let me draw you what the alts would look like. So what I think alts would do is, I think alts would track, I don't know what color it's going to be, but I think alts will track with, and then I think they'll blow off here. So what I'm expecting is alts to do that, you know, relatively. They don't have to go to the all-time high, whatever, but like basically the relative performance would be, they would hold with, and maybe some like Luna and others that are more suppressed will pump off the bottom harder, and then they'll run. So guys, I think, you know, I want to believe this is it, and I want to believe that we get our 30 days of up only, and I want to believe this is all happening. The charts look like it is, and the fractal looks like it's happening. The fractal looks like it's repeating. I believe that we'll follow the fractal more than I believe something else or different will happen. I do realize that anything can happen. I do realize that equities probably need to hang in there. You know, but we'll see. But yeah, I think the you know, this is a really good sign for us and really exciting. Just want to get it right. So levels to watch for on the upside. So here we are. Let's see what I can do. Let's do a different Bitcoin chart. I think this is clean Coinbase. Okay. We are right here. See how this was old support, and then it broke, and then it was support again, and then it broke support. Now we may have to test this resistance. But let's go back to the fractal. Look at the fractal, just kind of broke through and went up. So if we follow, we just kind of screech up here for a couple days probably. We just kind of melt our way through and then pop again. We don't have to follow it exactly, right? Like this didn't follow exactly. It's not exact. But if we do follow the fractal, that's what happens. But it can do a host of things. You know, it could kind of range in here and kind of hang below and then pop if we follow the fractal. Or it can follow it explicitly. Or it could just go straight up and be early. You know, we'll see. You see how this gap, there's a little bit of a gap here. So yes, there are gaps in the fractal. It's not the most perfect thing in the world, but it works. And it's best fractal match I've seen ever in crypto. And to see it play out again is very, very exciting. So what I did not, I did expect, honestly, I did expect us to break down, or I thought there was a healthy chance that we were breaking down. Late last night, I wanted to see futures open. They did. S&P futures, the ES symbol, gap down 100 points on the open. That looked bearish to me. We were breaking down. This looked bearish to me. And so I was waiting to pick up some more positions down here. We didn't get that. You know, I think the way I'm thinking about this though anyways is if I'm in this market for these levels up here, for some of these higher levels we've talked about on some of these other positions, CRV, looked at its fractal, ICP, XRP, SHIB, whatever, you know, in my opinion, these are still good levels to buy. You know, if you're going to hold for a potential retrace here. So that's kind of my logic behind that, is that we're still down here at pretty attractive price points. So I'm not too worried about it. SHIB's at 2,500. You know, it depends on what your projections are for that. If you think it's going to 10,000, that's a 4x. XRP is still at 76 cents. Here's the daily XRP. Has not launched yet. So you have a lot of these. Let's look at XTZ, Tezos. We haven't looked at that forever. That hasn't really launched yet. So you do have select movers so far. It is selective. I mean, things are green, right? But it's not. It's more selective. Look at ICP. Look at this. You know, it's off the bottom, guys. ICP got to $15. So off the bottom, you know, it's healthy, but you know, let's just look at this ICP chart real quick. I'm going to take that off because that's kind of invalidated. Whatever, I think this is a fib level, which is interesting. We came down to it. $15. ICP needs to break this channel. And until it does, it's probably not going anywhere. But I believe it will, especially if things do play out, say the next 30 days, 30 to 45 days. I would love to see a up-only March for us. And so that's what I'll be manifesting, right? But anyways, that's about it, guys. Exciting day for us. Bitcoin's at 9.5% on the daily. We looked not great last night into at least even past midnight. Reversed. Now it's screaming up, and in face of pressure and equities. So that's pretty strong. So things to watch. But that's it, guys. Again, like the video, give it a thumbs up, please, and subscribe to the channel. And send me a DM on Twitter if you'd like to join our Telegram. Again, we're a group of people learning to read charts and to conduct analysis and to think like traders and to be successful in any market. So have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks.